Your move.
What is going on, you guys? Bastion YG here, and today we're going to be looking at the top 4 deck list of this past North American Nationals Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, which is pretty much going to be the last tournament for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Season. Of course, we still have multiple YCSs and things like that, but unfortunately, I believe it's not going to be any type of World still yet, so it's going to be one of the biggest tournaments we're going to see in North America for a long time, at least till the end of this year. But we do have YCS Brazil coming up a little bit later in August, so that should be really exciting. We'll definitely go see what that's like. I believe it's going to be the first tournament where Splice is actually legal, but until then, guys, we're going to go ahead and check out some of the top 4 deck lists, like I said before. Just go ahead and breaking them down, see what they did different in order to get to the top 4 of the North American, again, Yu-Gi-Oh! National. So if you guys like this type of videos, go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe for more, and let's get right into the video. Alright, guys, so first up we got our Marincess 4th place deck, piloted by Elijah Green, who we actually got to see in the top 8 feature match. Really phenomenal player as far as the Marincess strategy goes. Played it very I want to say aggressively. Like I said, I'm not 100% certain on how to play the deck. I've never piloted the Marincess strategy before, but it seems like it got, of course, a lot of hype a few months back, and then when I got the new support recently, it resurgence again, the popularity for this deck, and overall has been calling out for a lot of attention, especially with the brand new card Marincess Argonaut just being a phenomenal boss monster as well. I believe I talked about this one in one of my videos a little bit a while ago, so if you got to go ahead and check that out. The card should be up here in the top left to right hand corner. I still don't know. This thing is mirrored anyway. So anyway, let's go ahead and check out his build that he used to get 4th place at the North American Nationals. Looks like we start off with 3 Blue Tang, 3 Spring Girl, 3 Seahorse, 1 Sleepy Maiden, double Pascals, 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, 3 Veiler, 3 Nibiru, which I think tends to be a very common trend with as far as hand traps goes, at least for the top cut. They're pretty much all playing very similar, if not the exact same hand traps. Well, at least this Elijah and Ryan Youth with the Sky Striker, which we'll go ahead and check on just a little bit. The rise in popularity of Ghost Joker was actually a bit of a surprise, at least to myself. I personally always prefer a DD Crow, something I can go ahead and hit the graveyard, especially if we're going up against like a branded Despia deck. But again, Ghost Joker came out very clutch quite a bit throughout the entire tournament, so I mean, I definitely understand why they did so well. For the spells, 3 Triple Tactics Talents, playing that I believe over the Crossout Designator is still extremely beneficial as well, especially in this deck that has the capability at least of playing through multiple hand traps, as long as it has those specific cards in its hand. If not, worst case scenario, you fill up your hand with a whole bunch more hand traps, or you get to go ahead and look at your opponent's hand to get an advantage that way as well. Cyrus for consistency, Silent Mining consistency, Marincess Die, a phenomenal card, Battle Ocean, which is pretty much the heart and soul of this deck. Is insane that this can play just 1 copy and is perfectly fine. 3 Imperm, 1 Called By, and 1 Marincess Wave. Okay, so for the most part, I want to say very not standard. I guess it's a fair word for it for the Marincess, at least in the main deck. And then again, the one thing that surprised me would be like the Ogres. As for the extra deck, we got double Sea Angel, 2 Blue Slug, we got 1 Splash Mage, 1 Area, we got 2 Coral Anemone, we got 1 Coral Triangle, 1 Marbled Rock, 1 Argonaut, and then 1 Great Bubble Reef. As for the XCs, 1 Totally Awesome, 1 Stealth Kraken, and 1 Bahamut Shark as well. So what I like about this deck especially is that, at least what I saw in the feature match, is that it's kind of like a Protect the Castle. It's like a modern day Noble Knight, which honestly, Noble Knight is one of my favorite archetypes to actually play. It's a lot of fun. The whole theme around it is a lot of fun. I very much enjoy it. This reminds me a lot of that. We're pretty much just relying on one really big ass pardon my language, one big ass boss monster to go ahead and just pretty much handle everything for you. And it has protection, it has negates as well, so it has a lot of interruptions also, and that makes it absolutely phenomenal for the current format as well. Actually, saw Marincess do significantly well. I think we saw them 2 or 3 times throughout the entire tournament being featured, so a good amount of representation for them as well. Now for the side deck, of course, triple token collector. You have to combat Swordsoul, as you know. If you guys have already seen the live stream or seen the previous videos I posted, Swordsoul did win the North American Nationals. Spoilers: 2 DD Crow, 3 of the Jordan Lockbird, 3 Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, which pretty much everyone had in the side deck, and understandably so. And then 3 Gozen Match, which I think is a phenomenal side deck card specifically for this deck. I might choose to main deck Gozen Match just because very few decks actually have all the same attributes. And I'm talking about main deck and extra deck as well. Now if you go up against well, actually that'd be a tough one. I think you made the right call putting it in the in the side deck. Actually, let me slow it down a little bit, because I know there's still a lot of decks that are very attribute specific. Not many were coming up to mind at the time, but overall I think this is a very solid build. Of course, I mean, it managed to get the top 4th place, and honestly it checks every box. It has 15 hand traps in the main deck. It has triple tactics talent, which can pretty much count as 3 additional ones to counter your opponent's hand traps. Your side deck pretty much hits everything. Essentially hits board wipes and back row removal, as well as some very high impact hand traps as well. Overall, it's a fantastic build. No wonder that Elijah Green, a great pilot of the deck as well, was able to do so well with it. So next up, guys, we have the Floowandereeze deck that took 3rd place. Go ahead and get rid of this. It took 3rd place at the North American Nationals. So with this deck, it was piloted by Pascal Manigat. Forgive me if I mispronounce. So Floowandereeze is definitely one of the most feared decks in the format. No one likes to play against it, but on the other hand, no one really likes to play the deck, or whatever the misconception is, whatever the actual thoughts of the public are. Regardless, it is still a extremely consistent deck, and I think that Pascal proved it extremely well, not only playing 3 Extravagance, also 3 Prosperity, and 3 Duality, just to ensure that he did not brick, and actually did, of course, extremely well, getting 3rd place at the North American Nationals. So it's pretty cool as well. What I like about this was the spice with the Samorg Bird of Extermination. So like I said, I'm not a Floowandereeze expert by any chance, but I want to say most decks that I have seen really tend to steer away from playing the Samorg Bird of Extermination, at least the ones that I've played against myself. So this is actually a really cool tech to go ahead and play in here, because it also gives you access to a really fantastic field spell, the Samorg field spell, which actually works extremely well and synergizes almost perfectly with the whole Floowandereeze strategy also. And if you guys did not know, which I actually did not know this, the Samorg Repulsion, which he played in the side deck, is actually extremely spicy as well. Discard a Wing Beast monster, return all cards in your opponent's spell and trap card zones to the hand. Banish this card from the graveyard, reveal 1 Wing Beast monster from your hand, and if you do, reduce the levels, you know, that part's relevant. But the first part is really good, essentially letting you clear up your opponent's giant Trunate, essentially your opponent's entire back row, which is really good. So going over Decklist real fast, he plays a double Empen, 1 Ryza, 1 Mist Valley Apex Avian, 3 Shifter, 3 Samorg, 1 Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, 3 Eaglin, 1 Stree, 3 Rabina, 1 Toucan, 3 Jordan Lockbird for the monster cards. For the spells, 3 Extravagance, 3 Prosperity, 3 Duality, 3 Advent of Adventure, 1 Floowandereeze Unexpected Winds, 3 Map, 1 of the Sacred Lands of Samorg, and then 1 Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town for a 40 card main deck. For the extra deck, he played very conservatively but extremely high impact as well. 3 Zeus, 2 Tornado Dragon, 3 Diner Magician, double of the Promenade Thrush, which actually makes a lot of sense. What I like about his deck specifically is that his cards in the main deck and the side deck and the extra, pretty much all the cards that he's playing are to counter a lot of spell and trap hate. I mean, the Empen is enough to deal with any type of monster effects, but spells, traps, especially lingering effects, especially Mystic Mind, which was played in the 2nd place and the 1st place decks in the main deck at 3. After previous YCS Hartford, I feel like we could definitely expect Mystic Mind to make a huge appearance and a huge impact in the way the overall game landscape played. Now, I I do not think we saw it as prevalently as in YCS Hartford, but still something you need to prepare for nonetheless, and I think he did exactly that. The Dharma Edition 2 Promenade Thrush, which I very much like the call on that. 3 of the Assembled Nightingale, double Nightmare Phoenix, so you have plenty of ways to go ahead and get out your opponent's Mystic Mine, or just out your opponent's Floodgates in general. Really, really effective. To side the Ashes is an interesting move. Like I said, most Floowandereeze players that I come across will actually not play this more, or maybe play this in the side deck and put Ashes in there as well. So that's something definitely to consider, especially moving forward in the near future. Now, one card that I very, very much enjoyed was the No Material. This is actually really, really cool tech. Extremely expensive as well. You can get an ultra rare copy for like $1.50. Yes, I definitely looked it up right before this. This is actually going to be extremely useful potentially in the Splight format as well. So if you guys have not picked up your No Material, definitely do so if you can. I know that the secret rares are going for like 10 or 11 at the time of recording this video. So if something that you guys are interested in, definitely hop on it ASAP. So then we got 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, makes sense. 3 Dark Illusion no more, 1 of the Samorg Repulsion, which we already went over, fantastic card, and double of the Harpy's Feather Storm. Again, this card I normally see at 3, but again, it is extremely powerful for specific strategies. I know the Tri-Brigade Lureless deck, or the Lureless deck in general, was the most prominent using it a few months ago, but Floowandereeze, of course, being all winged beasts, can definitely go ahead and take advantage of that as well. Second place, piloted by Ryan Yu, we have the second place Sky Striker build. Now this was a interesting one. As you guys may know, if you guys have been watching the channel for a little bit, ever since YCS Hartford, I pretty much was stuck on Sky Striker. I was full on DDD player for like 3 or 4 months, but it was just my brain was hurting. I just needed something I can go ahead and slap Mystic Mine down and be cool with it, and I very much enjoyed. Again, I believe it's Po-Jiang from Australia. He won the YCS Hartford. Again, if I mispronounced it, I'm sorry. But anyway, I very much like this build, so I went ahead and did a similar version of that, and I've been playing that ever since. Seeing this, it really threw me for a loop, especially how he was playing it in the finals. So we got 3 Ray, 3 Rose, of course the hand traps. Ogre instead of DD Crow is something I disagree with personally. But I mean, definitely we can see that it worked for him, so who am I to judge, you know? For spells, it's pretty standard for the most part. One thing that really threw me off, though, was offerings to the Doomed. Really threw me. So basically, you can target one face-up monster on the field, destroy that target, also skip your next draw phase. So that threw me because when would it be beneficial to skip your next draw phase? Now I understand, of course, you play cards like Mobilize Engage, where you can easily go ahead and add to your hand from your deck or a graveyard as well with the Sky Striker build. But putting yourself in a position where you're not able to draw cards, I think really plays to a factor of how consistent this deck can really be. Of course, it definitely worked out for Ryan Yu, and ever since he won the Dragon Duel World Champions, he did extremely well with Sky Striker when it first came out, as well as mixing it with Trickstar back in the day, about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. If you guys have not seen his previous deck profiles back when he was a little bit younger, definitely go ahead and check him out. It's a very bright individual. This kind of threw me though. This definitely threw me. I would have expected to play like a Demise of the Land instead of these two, but again, I'm no runner-up Nationals champ. Okay, so that again, I just want to go hang my thoughts out there on that one. Next, you play double droplets, 1 Shark Cannon, 1 Hornet Drone, triple of the Widow Anchor, 1 multi-roll, 1 Area 0, which again all makes sense. 3 of the Mystic Mine, 3 Imperm, and 1 Metaverse. See, if you're gonna play Metaverse, why not just go ahead and go all out and play the Demise of the Land? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the way it was being played, I guess he was trying to play more traditional Sky Striker with just a Ghost second variant, high hand trap count, you know, things like that. And honestly, I think he was playing pretty well. I mean, in between matches, in between the top 4 and the finals match, they were showing a little bit of Ryan Yu's, and I believe he's playing against Elijah Green's match. And honestly, I feel like he was playing extremely well in that duel that it wasn't a feature match, but the feature match had already ended, so they had a little bit of time, so they panned over a little bit of the game. And I thought, for what I saw, he was playing it very well. Of course, he's a master with this deck. He's piloted the deck for years at this point, so he definitely knows what he's doing. I just feel like in the finals match, it was just a rough going. I mean, game 1, going for the deck out with Mystic Mine, it just did not pan out. Of course, his opponent's playing the Heavenly Dragon Circle, or the, you know, I was talking about the Heavenly Circle. I forget what it's called. Heavenly Circle. So it just didn't work out for him. So for those guys who I know you put in the question as far as, you know, what was he doing, or why didn't he set cards? Essentially, so the way Swordsoul Blackout works is that you have to pop 2 cards with it. So if you just have Mystic Mine on the field, you can't activate Swordsoul Blackout. But having seen the Heavenly Dragon Circle prior to, I would then assume, again, in the finals match, feature match, I'm sure the pressure is on. He's no stranger to pressure, having won the World Championship at some point, just a few years ago. But again, if I had been put in that position after I saw the second card go set, so once his opponent had 4 cards set, then I would have laid out my hand as far as all set cards, because even if he pops something, then hopefully I have something to put another Mystic Mine down, or just another form of interruption. Ended up not going that way, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, things definitely happen for a reason, but still, I mean, he played extremely well. For the extra deck, 3 Shizuku, 3 Kagari, 1 Kaina, double Hayate, 1 Zeke, 1 Hulk, 1 Elina, 1 Dark, 1 Celine, and then 1 Access Code Talker. And then for the side deck, again, nothing too crazy. The one thing that did, again, kind of throw me for a loop was the Offerings to the Doomed, but we already talked about that. And now time for the best deck of the formats. Undoubtedly, is going to be the Swordsoul deck. So Swordsoul is, obviously, there's nothing I can say in this video that hasn't already been said. It's extremely consistent. It's very good at what it does. It has a fantastic grind game. Monk of the Tenyi, for being a non-effect monster, is a phenomenal card for the deck to have mixed with the Tenyi monsters. But what I do love about his build is that he main deck Mystic Mine, specifically for if he lost a die roll going second. So he's definitely already has a way to go ahead. He already knows his playstyle is to play around Mystic Mine, so why not play Mystic Mine as well and use it to your advantage when no one would see it coming. So I thought this was a genius move on his end as well. And then the triple Heavenly Dragon, I was right, okay, triple Heavenly Dragon Circle was again a fantastic move on his end as well, knowing that this is gonna easily help him out any type of Mystic Mines or any type of interruptions that would hinder his field presence. So I thought this was absolutely genius by him. Of course, the 1 copy of Blackout, and I'm pretty sure this was how he was trying to go ahead and activate game 1, but again, he could not. So you have to target 1 War Monster and 2 cards your opponent controls, and that's why, again, he could not. So that I thought was extremely spicy to go ahead and play. Also, the 3 Rivalry Warlords in the main deck, pretty much having all your monsters be worms. The only one that would not be is going to be Incredible Ecclesia, but it's only a 3 of in your entire deck, so you're perfectly fine. And then for the extra deck as well, everything is worm. So I think main decking Rivalry Warlords is extremely good move. Makes a lot of sense playing it with Swordsoul, and I can't believe I haven't seen this more often from other Swordsoul players. I think that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, kudos to you, Hansel Aguero, for not only being now a 2-time North American National Champ, but for thinking of the spicy deck and making sure this is in the main deck as well. For the extra deck, playing triple Monk, 1 Shaman, 1 Yazi, 3 Baxia, 2 Shishao, 1 Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, 1 Xiaofeng, 1 of the Sinister Yangluan. I definitely butchered that one. And then 1 Baron and 1 Shenying. For the side deck, I think this is the first anti-spell fragrance that I've seen in the top 4, so definitely the best card he could have drawn against a game 3 of the tournament. Was an absolute blowout. No disrespect to Ryan Yu, I mean, his opponent just drew the absolute nuts against him. Rivalry of the Warlords and anti-spell fragrance was brutal. Absolutely brutal. I thought he had a shot, and then unfortunately, I mean, when your opponent has the out, he has the out. So again, I just want to go ahead and say congratulations to the top 4 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! North American Nationals. They definitely put on a phenomenal show, especially down the stretch. That finals match had me going for a second. I really thought that game 1 was going for a deck out. Had a bit of a twist at the end. So overall, I very much loved watching the live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed watching with me as well. If you guys want to see specific matches, I have them on the channel as well, labeled round by round, so you can go ahead and see your favorite matchup. If you guys like the Libromancer, which I know a lot of you guys do, like watching the Libromancer feature matches. If you guys like the Adignist or Drytron, that was a really fun one as well. Those are the 2 that I would definitely highly recommend. If you guys have not seen them already, go ahead and check them out. There should be a playlist on my channel for the North American feature matches, so definitely go ahead and check that out as well. But if you guys enjoy this type of videos, go ahead and leave a like down below, comment down below what you guys want to see next. Are you guys ready for Splite format? So exciting, just 2 weeks away. Any other set that comes out is completely irrelevant in comparison to it, so I'm honestly extremely excited for it. I'm excited in the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is heading a tier 0 potential format. Ooh, am I excited for this. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.